Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, respected judges and all our beloved audience. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Citna Diana Stanha, and I'm speaking for the people of Indonesia in affirmative side. A good chance for me to present my point of view about our motion today, which is this House regrets the fuel price. Then let me limit the topic of our debate today so we can just focus on one case in this topic. The people of Indonesia regrets Pertamina fuel prices getting rise day by day. So why we have to blow up this issue? These days, people of Indonesia have been shocked by the increases Pertamina fuel price. The topic is going viral on every social media. Many of them regrets and protest how high Indonesia's Pertamina fuel price is, especially Pertamax, which experienced a price increase from 9,500 rupiah between 12,500 rupiah to 13,000 rupiah. This news provided by the Pertamina company in 1st April 2022 made some people worried about the price of other fuels. One of the reasons this situation could occur is the outbreak of war between Ukraine and Russia and cause world oil price to rise. Pertamina's solution to overcome this high world oil price is to also increase fuel prices, which is around 92 Pertamax. So why Pertamina should lower their fuel prices as soon as possible? Judges and beloved audience, an increase in the price on an item, it is a common thing in the economy world. However, if the nominal price increase is too large, it will certainly cause various pros and cons. In addition, if it's not handled quickly, it will be bad for Indonesia's economy. When the world oil price rise, Pertamina will also increase the fuel prices. The increase in the price of Pertamax fuel could be the beginning of the increase in Pertalite and solar subsidized fuel. Price for transportation will also increase. This can disrupt people's welfare if it's not balanced with the expansions of employment opportunities and an increase in people's income. Due to the increasing demand for the Pertalite and diesel fuel, while the cost of production is increasing. Inflation can cause decrease in people's purchasing power, especially for those who don't achieve an increase in wages, and can affect a country's export capability, which will have an impact on the country's foreign exchange too. The increase in the price of Pertamax makes people who initially use it loyally will switch it to Pertalite. Middle and upper class people who shouldn't be entitled to subsidies will actually get them because they switch to using Pertalite, which is a subsidized fuel. If things like this continue, there will be a shortage of Pertalite fuel. When the scarcity occurs, people will be diverted to use Pertamax again. Meanwhile, even though world oil prices have fallen drastically, it will not be easy to lower Pertamina's fuel price again. Concern from the community will eventually be realized into an action, everybody. As we can see today, many students are holding demonstrations to object to the high price of fuel. Even people who just pass by on the road or join in without knowing for sure what was being demonstrated also took to the field. Make more losses than gains, injuries, damage to facilities and infrastructure, air pollution due to burning tires or wood as a demo property as well. And of course, judges and beloved audience, since the Suharto era to the present Joko Widodo, the price of fuel has continued to climb. Only President B.J. Habibie didn't increase fuel prices. Instead, he lowered the price of fuel by like 200 rupiah from 1,200 rupiah per liter to 1,000 per liter. It is known that world oil price fluctuations occurred in 1998. At that time, Indonesia began to enter the Reformation era, as well as experiencing a monetary crisis. In the Journal of Development Economics entitled "The Effect of Changes in the Price of fuel oil or BBM on Indonesia's inflation rate, it is stated that the criticality of oil prices has an impact on the difficulty of the Indonesian government in meeting the development budget. The government must provide fuel subsidies for domestic people. This was done deliberately so that people wouldn't feel burdened. Unfortunately, the government's decision actually burdens efforts to meet finance in Indonesia, in the Indonesian state budget per year. Thus, the government was forced to reduce fuel subsidies in order to ease the burden on the state budget. In the end, the price increase of some commodities also occurred. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, a mass student in Garut Regency held a demonstration against the increase in the price of fuel oil or BBM. If their demands are not heeded, they threaten to protest in Jakarta. The students who demonstrated were a combination of several campuses in Garut Regency. Since morning, students have gathered around Simpang Lima in Tarogong Kidul district. Then they carried out a long march to the Regent's office and the Garut DPRD headquarters, which were hundreds of meterways. A number of youths on behalf of the Tasikmalaya Student Alliance held a demonstration against the increases in the price of Pertamax fuel oil or BBM in front of the Pertamina Tasikmalaya Depot office on Monday, April 4, 2022. The action was marred by riots between police officers and students when visitors felt it was forbidden to burn used tires. So, judges and all beloved audience, with this, there are a lot of negative impacts from the continuous increase in Pertamina's fuel prices. Clearly, Pertamina should lower the fuel price as soon as possible to avoid mass tantrums, inflation, damage to facilities and infrastructure, and also economic imbalance. It's all from me. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.